Hello, we're coming to you live from our main studio in Bakau, the Gambia. This is N24 TV News Hour and I'm your presenter, MUDIWA. Coming up in the next minutes, farmers in Fonyi Bondali have made some plea to the government saying they need support. The Bundong Maternity Hospital on its press conference calls on the return of their transferred manager. In sports, Brikama United beat Hawks 2-0 to move second on the table. On the international front, Burkina Faso ex-president freed from detention, reports say. Blood clot risk higher for 6 months after having coronavirus. These and more to feature in our today's bulletin. Stay tuned. Many thanks for joining us, and we start with the Bundong Maternity Hospital on its press conference call on the return of their former manager who recently got transferred. These people, however, urged the transfer of their former manager to be nullified, as they said the manager should not have been transferred. This was revealed during their press conference, and here are some of the details gathered by our reporter.
The Chief Executive Officer of Bundong Maternal and Child Health Hospital received a redeployment letter to Buyam General Hospital from Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Health via WhatsApp. Since the news broke out, a task force of heads of units department was formed with the sole aim of engaging the Ministry of Health to reconsider his decision and let the staff continue working with the CEO to deliver quality health care services to women and children of the Gambia. Fatmata Nyaling, a resident of Bundong, said the work that Keba Mane is doing is of their interest. The Ministry of Health should allow him to continue his job.
Nunku kendo te jamoti naja. Ote Keba Mane la do kuo, alabula ya labang. Abedo kuo men na make moe amaka kumwe, akake bankole. Ota alabula ya wake. Keba Mane na bata jangamandi antol dodoe. Babe men na jantol tanola. Nta tano la nyon do tano. Ota sai wa mutanya to sai ko molt. Me do kuono abala. Ya long imalong abala suto tili. Wole jarta ka do ko.
Ajifatu Mboj also said that Mane is a well-trained and a qualified doctor who is not working for his pocket but working for the interests of the people.
Melentan tuti na de way ko mata nga yeko. Su fi jógee dama ne melentaan lim tuuti ku mata nga yëg ko dinañ yëg suñ coono dinañ yëg suñ métit dinañ yëg suñ naxar fii boo ñëwee léegi wasi neekaay bi nekkaatut benn mbaar ay néeg la kenn gëtanut kenn su fekkee ne deret la fi yomba na fi loo bugg a fii rek fii la yombee ñu ne lopitaan yi fii la yombee li tax ñu wax ko mooy amuñ fi benn sikki sàkka garab am na fi lopitaan yëpp boo demee ñu ne la demal jëndi garab den des Bundong li nga jëndal lu tuuti laa doon ngir kan ngir Keba Mane soo ñëwee fii lu mu guddi dinañ la toppatoo def li war si yow ngir kan ngir Keba Mane Keba Mane xeebut kenn liggéeyut pour doomam yi liggéeyut pour kenn. Mr. President maa ngi laa ñaan Keba Mane mi bàyyil ñu ko fii dañ ko niit ñun ñoo ko soxla biñ la soxlee kenn xataluñu dañ na yow rek ñu ni tamit niñ laa ñaan mooy Keba Mane rek bàyyil ñu ko fii ñu ngi laa ñaan ngir yàlla ak yonent ba man.
Ajifatu Njai, a retired nurse, said Keba is a good doctor and he is always there for the need and well-being of the people and his staffs in particular.
Keba moo ñoo dimbale moo ñoo yërëm ñu ngi koy ñaan ngir yàlla ak weeri koor bii ba si tey bii na ko dimbale staff yi ñu kontaan ndax ko staff yi merewuñ ko kontaan nañ ci mbiram soo gisee ñu taxaw di def lii bugga ko moo tax ak moom itam jikkoom bu baax moo tax ñu taxaw si naaj bi di wax waxam kon nag maa ngi ñaanal ñëpp waaye maa ngi ñaanal Keba yal na ko yàlla may fan wu gudd gu ànd ak wér yal na ko yàlla wéral yaxam képp lu mu yóotu yal na ko jot yal na ko yàlla lafal cat musal ko sàmm ko te barkeel képp lu muy liggéey ndax Keba fu mu munti nekk mu ngi liggéey Keba foo ko fekk mu ngi egg ak wàcc fu ne dem na fa ndi Gambia Foundation kon na ñu ngi ñaan président na ñu toppa ci moom yëpp na ñu fi bàyyi suñu Keba man mii dama retire waaye Keba defuma dara tous na ma defut am naa lu ma bugga te ba toog fu ma toog maa ngi am li ma bugga te yàlla ak moom la te maa ngi amee njaboot kon na nit ki bu la xamee daf lay yërëm ku la xam moo lay yërëm maa ngi gërëm ñëpp nag di jéggalu nag.
These people are urging the government and the Ministry of Health to help them not to redeploy Keba Mane. They went further saying without Keba, the hospital won't survive or perform the way it's performing. They continue pleading with the government, saying Bundong Maternal and Child Health Hospital is the only hospital that continue pleading with the government, saying Bundong Maternal and Child Health Hospital is the only hospital that their current mortality rate stands at 0.1% as of 2021. And Mr. Mane equally is the only CEO who started the hospital, leading it from scratch and turn it to a center of excellence it is currently now. Reporting for N24 News Hour, I am Maimuna Dare.
Agriculture is as old as mankind, but farming lately in the Gambia seems to be a difficult task to do. Farmers in Fonyi Bondali have made outcries about a lack of support from the government. As we hear from Sukay Jarjasi on what their cries are, they say they need support. Here are some of the details.
Farmers at the Fonyi Bondali have recently made an outcry which they label as lack of support from the government. In an interview with some farmers in Fonyi Bondali and residents of Fas Chabai, they said the government have forgotten them with their farms. In an exclusive interview with N24 TV, both the alkali and residents lament their challenges as farmers in Fas Chabai. Ahmad C, the alkali of the village, states the issues of lack of fertilizer as they get it from neighboring villages.
Jafe-jafe engrais moom suñ problème la mënuñ ko am soo ko bëggee jënd dangay dem fu sori léegi-léeg dañ leen dem ba bolon ko ñu jënd ko foofu.
We have problem of fertilizer in this village. We usually go to far away villages to get it. There is no place here in Fonyi where fertilizers are sold. Farmers are really struggling. We want the government to help us with fertilizers and farming tools.
Alaji Boy also states that they lack farming material to use in their farms, saying that they cannot afford to get those but needs government assistance.
Comme bay jamono bi légui il faut nga am chunwar.
Farming in this modern generation, we must have farming equipment to use on our farms. Out of the 30% of farmers here, I can say 15% of us rent farming equipment. I am urging the government and parastatals to offer a helping hand.
Te mon ñe jappalé te yalla tax ñing la ñaan nga jappalé ci problème yi ñu wax ni.
Omar Sawo, another resident, laments on the women's garden which happens to be abandoned due to lack of enough water, he claimed.
Problème yoy ñoo nekk ci dëkk bi. Problème yër bi moy ndox. Ndox mom seen problème la.
We lack water. Humans need water in order to complete their religious obligations. Our roads are also bad. There are no good roads here. Our women also need machines to help them pound their cereals. Water, machines, and fertilizers are our main concerns.
Based on the numerous challenges mentioned by the residents of Fonyi Bondali, some women walk kilometers to reach hospitals, which make some of them give birth on donkey carts before reaching the health centers. According to them, the shortest distance they claim to walk is 3 kilometers. Reporting for N24 News Hour, I am Sukay Jajusi.
Accidents in the Gambia continue to claim lives and are becoming rampant in the Gambian streets. The KM area is not an exception to these accident incidents. Vehicles collided around the Canifing area recently. Meanwhile, in a separate development, there was another fatal accident in the other side of the Gambia where about 2 people lost their lives. The causes of accidents are sometimes blamed on reckless driving, poor roads, amongst others. The Citylink Austin Banjul Partnership for Sustainable Development, funded by EU, visited Banjul through the mayor of Austin and his team. Their visit is to better strengthen cordial relations between the two. The project is worth around 3.2 million euros. Our reporter Sukay Jarjasi tells us more in this report.
The Citylink Austin Banjul Partnership for Sustainable City Development is being funded by European Union under the 2018 Europe Aid called Authorities Partnership for Sustainable Cities. The objective of the project is to strengthen the urban governance capacity of Banjul City Council by developing efficient public service and future-proof programs for the city of Banjul. Recently, the mayor of Austin and his team visits Banjul to better strengthen the cordial relations. The mayor of Austin states that it's not easy to implement a project worth 3.2 million euro, as this project intends to uplift Banjul and Banjulians.
To implement, ladies and gentlemen, a project of 3 million euro, it's around $170 million. That's not easy. The road is often very bumpy, and there are many lessons to be learned as we move along together. It is without any doubt, however, that this project has the potential to be uplifting and transformative for Banjul City and all Banjulans. We therefore must take it a success together.
The mayor of Banjul, Rahim Malik Low, also urged Banjulians to take ownership of the project.
It's important for Banjulians to take ownership of the project because the project is not for Mayor Low or Mayor Bat. The project is for the people of Banjul. And all these 3 days, he has put emphasis, reminding me to understand that the project is not our project as mayors. The project is for Banjul and Austin. Mayors come and goes. As I always said, governance is a chain. In the next minute or in the next hour, we might not be mayors again for many other reasons, as death can also come.
When asked on the issue of waste management, the mayor of Austin has this to say.
Yes, I think it's not only very important for Africa, and also not only important for Gambia, it's also important for Europe, and even also in my city, we have a lot of projects who are running now for the moment for recycling. It's really a fight, a big fight, and we have to work together to solve that. Also for climate, when I'm walking on the beach, I see the plastic and all the other things. We have the same in Europe, on another way, because we are different, that's true. But I think in future we have worked together for the waste, for recycling, and to work for projects, to work together to do these things away. Okay?
The specific goals of the project are focused on 5 pillars: good and effective management, knowledge center sustainable development Crab Island, sustainable waste management, green in Banjul, and capacity building Edward Francis Moore Teaching Hospital. Reporting for N24 News, I am Sukai Jajusi.
In sports. Burkina United, who got everything right against Hawks, moved to second place and a point behind leaders Real de Banjul after their 2-0 win at the Independence Stadium in Bakau. A goal and assist from Bunsane saw the Burkina team control proceedings under the floodlights as night football returns on the GFF League calendar. The Burkina-based team that started the season poorly have got their cutting edge back on and managed sufficient wins in their title race. They now sit second on the table after edging out Hawks, who failed to sit level on points with leaders Real de Banjul. Burkina United now win 3 matches against Hawks out of their last 6 meetings, while tasting just a single defeat. Leaders Real de Banjul still have a chance of extending the gap as they are a match lesser. And away from that latest happening in sports, let's now take a look at the latest of the internationals. After a COVID infection, there is an increased risk of developing serious blood clot for the next 6 months, a study from Sweden suggests. The research found people with severe COVID and those infected during the first wave had the highest clot risk. This highlights the importance of being vaccinated against the virus, the researchers say. Blood clots can also occur after vaccination, but the risk is far smaller, a major UK study found. People who have had COVID-19 are more likely to develop a blood clot, particularly patients who have needed hospital treatment. Scientists wanted to find out when that risk returns to normal levels and whether it has changed from one wave of the pandemic to the next. Burkina Faso's ousted president, Roch Kabore, has been allowed to return to his home in the capital, Ouagadougou, the military government said in a statement. Mr. Kabore was under house arrest in a ministerial villa in the capital since January, when he was ousted in a coup led by Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Damiba, who is now the head of state. His party confirmed to the BBC that he had been freed without giving further details. The announcement of his release comes after weeks of consultations. It also follows calls by the international community for his freedom. The government added that measures were being taken to ensure his safety. Viewers, that's all the time we have in today's bulletin, but keep connected to your favorite N24 RTV.